Don Abenanti is going to explain to you guys what we did to this car. Shop car, shop parts, let it eat as fast as we can make it, and nearly die. Not once, but multiple times. Kill it, buddy.
So welcome to the channel, guys. This is Shannon Sarig. I'm Don Abenanti. We're at the hobby shop. We wanted to do a little science project for you guys. We took this old car, made it as fast as we possibly could with the shop parts we have here in shop, and we built it as fast as we could. So this is an epic adventure I wanted to bring you guys along for. We're gonna go see how fast it went stock, and then we're gonna build upon it within a 30-hour period and make this thing as fast as we possibly can. We take a stock car and made it into a drag car like this. So come tag along, hope to make you guys laugh, and smash that subscribe button if you like it.
And comment and like.
Seconds later.
What'd you think when you saw this thing?
I was just like, I didn't see him recording you guys until I was like, all right, this back here is like maybe it's covered, I don't know. And then I see him and I'm like, what is he doing?
Absolute madman!
James Cameron, baby!
James Cameron, baby!
We got pulled over.
How far did we make it? Like 6 miles?
Yeah, trip's cut a little short. Well, hopefully she's cool enough not to tow the vehicle.
You need to double clutch it. Hammer this thing down to clown town,
I'll just neutral drop it.
You're the make or break of this thing. The car's there. You're gonna drive the beast out of this thing. You got this. I got it. I thought it was going to be slower than a 15. He's been 13.9. That's ripping. That's ripping for that stock little thing.
That was awesome. I think I actually did pretty good. What's up, bud? Thank you. Have a good one. Free pizza for me, baby! Where's my pizza, baby?
Dude, that thing shreds, dude. 13.9, 96 miles an hour, baby! Hauling, straight hauling. Race car material right here. 60 foot, woo-wee, that's slow. 330, woo-wee, that's slow. 8, woo-wee, that's slow. But we're good. That's a lot, that's really impressive, to be honest with you. Driving this thing, I thought this was like a 20-second car. All right, so we came here, we didn't really conquer, but we got a number. But honestly, I'm impressed.
Me too.
13.9 is really fast.
For this. When he handed me the slip, I was like, I mean, wait till you see my reaction to the GoPro. I was like, huh, what? I thought it was his.
Even the guys in the line were like, this thing's ripping. And I'm like, well, I mean, I guess, yeah.
I mean, we're using 9-second cars.
But this is the science platform here. So we got our number. We know where we started from. We know what we have to improve on. And honestly, the whole thing's probably going to come apart anyway. So we went 13.9. So now we got to beat that. So I'm stoked. Good job, man. Let's go home. I need a sweatshirt. I'm cold.
Freezing. Hi guys, Shannon Sarig here, Don Abenanti. He's going to take over and explain what we're doing to Tina.
So we have Tina, which you guys saw. We ripped it. We went 13.9 with this thing, which was incredibly fast for what this little girl is.
And extremely sketchy.
Sketchy. I mean, this is probably the sketchiest car that we've ever had in our life in this shop. So we're here. We had this idea. How fast can we push this build, make it safe with the stuff that we already have? So now we're here in the shop today. We're going to go rob Peter and pay Paul. We're going to rob ourselves to build Tina up.
We're not going to stop our vehicles from running. We're going to use what we have in the shop, just like everybody out there has a ton of in their shop and in their garage that they can use to make their cars go faster. So we're going to give you guys an example of what a revolving shop can do with the parts inside of it.
And this is awesome for you guys that are home that maybe are a little stagnant on your builds that want to get some motivation. We're going to take one of the sketchiest cars that we've ever taken a run. We love it, don't worry, we do love this car. Sorry if you guys are enthusiasts. And try to get this thing in the tens with parts that we already have. Going 10s these days is pretty fast. Some guys out there in the 9s maybe will even push it that hard. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna beef up the drivetrain. We're gonna use like a turbo 350, maybe a big cubic inch small block. We wanna stick with the first gen because we have some of those here. And we're gonna use some sort of fuel injection so I can control this thing down the track. And then we have a little idea of beefing up the rear end a little bit and putting some slicks on this thing to make sure we get down the track. I've always wanted to get like a 1050 out of this thing. And seeing that we're in the 1190s, I'm sorry, we're in the that we were in the 1390s.
Which we thought we were 15 and a half to 16, by the way.
We're as slow as molasses, so I thought it was going to be slower than it is.
It was pretty exciting to see your reaction when it went 1390s.
I was so stoked. It was just,
Oh my God! Hey, that was good! What the? Hey, that was good!
I was like, oh, when you drive this thing, it doesn't feel like it.
No, not at all.
Driving like this down the road. So we're here today. We're going to make this thing safe. We're going to go through the chassis, make sure nothing's weird about this thing. Figure out what we have to beef it up, maybe put a cage in it. We don't know. And then from there, it's taking the components to make this thing make over 500 horse and make sure we get to our goal of being in the 10s.
For sure.
That's it.
I'm down.
We have the small block here that we have in the shop. It's been here for a couple of years, and I've conned Shannon to let me use this for this wild project. It's a 383. We don't know much about it. We have ourselves a motor. It runs. It's ready, and it rocks. Let's just take this thing out, throw it, and build it, whip this thing up.
That's it.
All right, let's get to it. Built this car before, but they did an incredible job. If you come in here and look at this, so
floor, everything.
Look at, they did all square tubing, all the welds are awesome. I mean, whoever built this thing originally, maybe it was built in the 80s or something?
I don't know, but it's even beefed up back here where they would have.
Yeah, like the guy who did the, whoever, so if you watch this video and you see this, he did a great job, man. Like between the square tubing floorboards, between his work on the frame, between the tubing bends on these awesome just like motor mounts that he made, like everything that was in this, somebody put a lot of detail. This makes me feel a lot better, to be honest with you. Time to kick this baby to the curb.
Banger. That's what he calls it. Bang. Banger.
All right, guys, so we got the motor in. We got everything packed up, everything bolted in. We still have a couple more things to do before we go racing in a matter of a couple days. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a base test with just this motor and the carburetor. Other than that, we're almost there. We got about another 4 more hours worth of work, but we want to hear what this thing sounds like. Let's try it. You ready, buddy? All right, this is what you see from us. All right. The next project on this list was an anti-roll bar. So when you start going really fast, the motor actually wants to separate the body from the rear end, or vice versa. The rear end actually wants to spin, and it causes this reaction where the car starts going like this and gets lopsided. And that puts a lot more pressure on one side of the wheel, and it causes a bunch of problems going down the track. Now this car is really light, so I don't think we're gonna have any real problems. But to be honest with you, I didn't really want to have to worry about it when we start really laying the steam in this thing. So this is actually a kit from Chassis Engineering. This is their main tube. They give you some bronze bushings, and then from there you have to make your own arms. This is a very cheap kit for a guy who wants to do it yourself. I just went ahead and polished and got all the slag off. They had this in the plasma cutter, and it had some schmegs in the back, so I cleaned all this up. This is our top plate. This is gonna be really cool. Once you put this together, these arms come together. This separates them, and then there's tubes on the inside that I'll weld. And when this whole thing's constructed, these brackets come on and tie to a 1 5/8 tube that I'll weld to inside the chassis itself. So now that everything's prepped up, I don't have to do the hard part of actually welding this all together. My GoPro actually died halfway through, so I didn't get all the footage. But here is the other piece that's all tacked up. I just want to, before I weld it, kind of check everything. This is going to be our crossbar. So what I'm going to do is measure frame to frame. This is going to go in there. This is actually what this is all going to weld to here separately. So I'm going to measure for that with the width of the frame, cut that, and that's going to be tied to our anti-roll bar itself. All right, so the sway bar is pretty much all done and fabricated. Now we have to go in and place it in the truck, in the car itself. Physically get all those dimensions right, then I got to make the trailing arms and weld to the rear end, and she is done. We got the anti-roll bar built, it's tacked in. We actually just ran out of gas while we were doing this. So we take a little break, we're gonna get some gas, but now that this thing is true in here compared to what the frame is, I can go in here and make my end links. As you see, I got these brackets that they give me in the kit. And I'm not really into them because they don't have an oval, so I'm gonna go ahead and oval these out for the diameter of the tube of the rear end. And then from there, I'll make some custom tubes that come down here to heim joints, which I'll be able to adjust. Rod end links, so I got to adjust it, but the real adjustment won't come until when we actually get to the track. Then we can set for any weirdage in the chassis. We're getting there. Second thing is we got this awesome kit from Summit Racing. So I'm actually going to go ahead and build this drive shaft kit. And this is going to allow, God forbid, if anything would happen with Shannon when he's racing and the drive shaft did decide to let go, it doesn't come down and pogo and launch the car up and do some weird stuff. Go ahead and it's actually worked out pretty well. If you can see, the tube goes up to the floor and it's perfect and it rides the bottom of the frame rails. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and measure and mark total length and width of this, lob it off, weld it right to the frame. I'll build a nice filler bracket after so you can't see it. And then from there, I'm going to use the bottom loop that they gave us, shimmy it up so we don't hit the ground, get it tight as I can to the yoke. And then from there, in the NHRA rulebook, it's 6 inches from the back of the tail shaft. So it's actually perfect right here. So right here in the back of this frame is 6 inches. So this is gonna be a matter of just cutting it, putting the bottom of the frame, welding it in, and making our bottom loop tab into this so we can remove it later on in life. When you wanna get the drive shaft in and out. It shouldn't be a problem anyway, but I just wanna have that ability to doing a Bluetooth setup. So what we got here is actually in a box. We've had this for some time. Is an old Sniper EFI. So this is pretty basic, but it should be able to get us where we want. We're gonna have 102 in this thing in the downpipe. And then from there, we'll be able to physically alter our timing curve and our fuel curve with an extra box we're gonna add onto it. It's used, we hope it still works. But we're just gonna throw this on and we're gonna go for it.
Donnie whipped up our exhaust yesterday, killed it with the bung. We did the whole saw for him. He went ahead and took that in. Now we went on to our headlights because on the way to the track on last Friday, we couldn't see a thing. So we wanted to make sure that since we do a lot of Defenders here in Jeeps, we had a bunch of these lights lying around. We went ahead and got the LEDs put in. We went with the Fox body, wheels and tires. Again, scavenging parts. Don't want to spend too much money. See how we go. Poncho's got all of our accessory drive taken care of. We took care of the electric fan yesterday. Chris is on doing the EFI. Poncho's getting the brakes tightened up. All of these marks are our safety marks to know that Poncho is keeping my life in his hands. So we are gracious for that. He's knocking out, I believe, the brakes. Chris killed it on the fuel cell drop. We got that taken care of. Chris killed it on the battery switch, so that's done. We went with our factory wheels that we had on this thing, and we actually took drag radials off of the Fox body, slid them onto here, so that worked out perfect. And I think the only thing left to do really is what, nitrous plate later on today after all this wiring? Yeah, some fittings, some bungs, some plugs. Chris is Finnegan inspired. He decided not to run a fuel filter. We are finishing up on the fuel filter now. Then we can get power to the pump and see if we can get this sucker fired up.
All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. We spent 3.5, 4 days on this thing. We're hammered, we're almost done. We got most of the safety stuff done, and as you see, it is actually time to fire this up. So what you saw from the videos, we took the old motor out, the thing was complete dumpster fire. We put this new one in, we had it in the shop, wired it, we put our Sniper EFI on, upgraded the pump, put some snazzy wheels on that we stole from Shannon's Mustang. So this thing's gonna be a little ripper now, so we're bumping our game up. We're actually getting to the next step, where we're gonna bring it to the track tomorrow. We don't know what this thing's gonna do. It already impressed us with the 13.8. So now we're gonna physically fire this thing up for the first time for you guys. If we did everything correct, it'll fire up. If not, then we're just gonna edit this out and you'll never see it. First fire up, guys, here we go, so excited. Yeah! She's alive! Why'd you turn it off?
No, it died.
Alright guys, so we're at the shop, we're getting everything ready. Donnie still doesn't know because he hasn't seen it yet, but he'll see it in a minute, I'm sure. He decided to actually open the door and...
We broke it. We broke the door. Let's go to the track, we broke the door. It's alright, it's fixed now. Okay.
So, I know Donnie wanted to do the turbo, but he hasn't seen the little solenoids that are sitting on the motor yet, so...
Oh, did you actually put it on?
I did.
Guys, this is the day 2 part we're telling you about. So we put a couple days into this thing. We're here. We're actually going to drive this up back to the track and see what this new combo can do. This is the motor that we had in the shop. Put it together. We did a couple of little safety things to make this thing safe, so when Shannon beats on it, he doesn't die and roll it over. And then we're going to keep to our promise. We're actually going to drive it up to the track again. Hopefully we don't get pulled over. And then we're going to see how fast this thing got from there. So this is it. So the only sketchy part about this, guys, is we have some Mickey Thompson tires on this thing, and for you guys who drag race, if we hit a nail, we were absolutely, we'll be in the shitter, I guess you would say. So we can't hit any nails from the next 40-mile journey. Everything from our shop that we have to make this as fast as we possibly can. But honestly, this is going to be a fast setup. But I can't wait to show you guys what this thing did. We put a couple days of work on this thing, some good old manual labor and love, and now we're going to go rip it, so tag along. All right, so we got 2 more problems. In Florida, it's either beautiful or it rains. What's that guy doing? He's like buried in his phone. So we got 2 things. If the drive shaft doesn't blow up and we don't get rained out, we're going for it. I see some sprinkles now.
12 seconds later.
Had a little drive shaft vibration. Just a little. It was bad.
I was just saying, like, what's the point of having a brand new car when you can have some old jalopy like this scaring the crap out every time you drive it? Round 2, brothers! Here we go! Give it a wings, bro.
Try to go fast.
He said that he went 11:59. I couldn't see the numbers because I was too busy controlling the drone, but he said 11:59. So, but something happened with the fan, so we got to figure out how to get down there and go fix it or do something. I don't know. That's impressive. I'm pretty stoked. That's what happens when you have something that's so light.
So we did our first pass. Sketchy run. It was great. We're on pass number 2. Donnie's doing the jets right now, so we can start spraying the spray. We're going with a 175 shot with 100 octane, and we're pulling 10 degrees of time. So
I can't see the numbers on this.
let's see if she stays together. Free pizza, first run.
Yep. 2 pizzas.
I told you when
2 pizzas. Chris gets pizza, I get pizza.
When do I get pizza?
when you actually win a bet. Win or under, you owe me pizza because you already owe me one. Or who owes me pizza?
I do.
You do.
Yeah.
So you already owe me one.
I'm gonna go 1190s. I'm gonna be comfortable and say 1170s and slow on both.
So 1170 up.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. I'm good with that.
Yeah, when you bet right.
You guys know on camera we are nitrous noobs and we don't do nitrous every day, so bear with us, okay?
We like boost, but
like boost.
we couldn't do it in time. So I know he's still a little
Butthurt.
A little bit, but let's. Chris killed it with the wiring. We got it all done. Nitrous is set up. Good job, by the way. Donnie's in here doing some tuning, trying to make it to where it's unsafe for me. And we're gonna send it, so let's see what happens. Yeah, this is a banger.
Doing dangerous things with my dangerous friends.